Hey, it actually worked. Music fade out. And yes, hey, I'm live. Sorry guys, I know it's been a little bit since I've done this, so yeah, I made a commitment to myself. I'm putting it on the calendar that every Thursday night, 6 p.m., I'm going to be here with you. So I don't have a whole heck of a lot scheduled for this. So where'd that go? It's been a while since I've done this. No, I'm looking for the right button. It's here someplace. It's okay, I'll find it. Let's see, I'm over there, so... Nope, not there. Back. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, it's not going to show on this screen. Whatever. Anyhow, chat from wherever you're at. It'll show up on here. I can put it up on the screen. If you got questions, real estate, preferably, feel free, hit me up. You can do it in the chat. It'll come right through to me. So, like I said, I don't have anything specifically scripted for this, but I'm making a commitment to do this every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Which brings me to one of the points I've got this week. So being a creative type, I don't really feel like I'm a creator. Sometimes I get on here and goof around and do stuff, and you know, that's cool. I enjoy this, but I don't game, so I'm not really on the Twitch thing, which I need to be. I mean, I'm over there, right? Where am I streaming to Twitch? I hope I am. Yeah, sure, whatever. Maybe that, well, I can't stream on X right now because I don't have the premium account. Let's see, I got Rumble. Yeah, it looks like I'm on Twitch. Cool. LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook is where I'm streaming right now. Again, you can chat from wherever you're at. Just drop a comment and it'll pop up on my thing and I can put you up on the screen if I want to. Anyhow, so, but yeah, being a creator type or wanting to do more in this, I'm always trying to learn something. I try not to get stuck in the analysis paralysis thing. Need a sip of tea. But, you know, there's questions and there are supposed answers out there. There's experts. And so I had one of these things come up with an expert this week. Somebody had brought up a question on one of the groups that I'm a member on, and they were talking about live streaming. And I'm like, hey, cool. Yeah, me, I like to live stream. I don't know, like, when's good? You know, I mean, I don't have a lot of content out here. And they were primarily referring to YouTube, but, you know, I can restream. I'm over on a whole bunch of different places, so why not? So I was like, you know, what, like, there's 168 hours in a week, 178, something like that. I don't know. I'm not going to break it out and do the math unless you really want me to. But there's a lot of hours per week, and they were suggesting stream for an hour every week. I'm like, okay, cool. See, now I got to do the math because it's going to drive me nuts. 24 times 7, that's 168 hours per week. So yeah, you've got 168 shots. When's good? And the answer I got back, it's something that I find very frustrating in life, because I was communicating with somebody who was a much higher level, somebody who was helping other people do these things. Admittedly, their focus is on YouTube. And no, I'm not calling them out by name. But the question was directed to someone who should be a subject matter expert, who should have thousands of data points, who should have thousands of people in their network, and according to their, you know, page, they do, that they would have this information. Like, where's kind of my sweet spot for streaming? Nothing. And they said, look at your analytics. Okay, I mean, look, that's fine. That's not necessarily bad advice. But for somebody who's starting from zero, which of these 168 hours per week should I target to stream? Clue me in. Say, you know what? You don't want to try streaming at 7 a.m. on a Monday because nobody wants to get out of bed and go to work. Or, you know, Mondays in general, maybe those are just terrible. Or maybe, you know, lunch on Monday because everybody's trying to mentally check out. So, you know, 11 to 1, 11 to noon to 1, something like that. Maybe that would be a good zone to try. But no, the only answer I got was just watch your analytics. They'll tell you What kind of stupid answer is that, especially for somebody who's starting? And admittedly, I've done a few of these now, but I don't know. I bet you don't know. So, all right, I was a little frustrated. I will readily admit I despise going to a subject matter expert and getting a "you'll figure it out" answer. I left numerous brokers because that was their answer. I'm like, hey, I got this deal. How do I do this thing that, nobody is, I've never heard somebody talk about putting together a deal this way. Oh, you'll figure it out. Really? Because this is somebody's next 30 years of their life that I'm trying to, we're trying to get them committed to, and or either that or sell, and that's their largest asset that we're going to put on the market, or maybe multiple. Can you give me a little bit of a heads up on, here's a couple of different strategies, this is what I would recommend? Nope, just you'll figure it out. Same thing with contracts. Most of the brokers I had been at, they were like, you'll learn how to do the paperwork. This is literally what I'm paying you for. And, coming over to this other example, I wasn't paying for this advice, but I'm glad I didn't, because it was worth what I paid for it. Yeah. Anyhow, so rather than continue to be frustrated, I wrote up a very forthright response that this is a point of frustration. I don't know what I don't know. You're the subject matter expert. You've got thousands of data points that you could pull up. Why aren't you giving the rest of us some form of guidance? Should I be doing this Saturday morning? Maybe people would love to watch this on a Saturday morning. I don't know the actual stat. I could bring it up if we need to. But there are a lot of people who watch YouTube on their TVs. And I know you can't see it right now because I've got the camera pointed at me, but I got I don't even know what size TV this is. I want to say it's like a 50-inch TV, and this is my editing rig. So it's huge, and it's right here, just out of frame. So, but the rest of the time, I got futon over here where I can chill and I can shoot videos back that direction. Not there today. But yeah, I mean, I figured out the stat. What the heck? What the heck? I got nothing better to do for a minute. Now we're not doing single family homes. Turn all of those off. We're going to go to browser. If it'll let me. See, I haven't streamed in so long, I don't even know my own control keypad anymore. Nope, not monthly stats. Turn those off. Turn all of that off. We're not doing any of that. Nope, that's not how you do that. Oh, well, it would help if I go to window capture, and we're going to do new tab. Hey, okay, so we got part of it. I just gotta get rid of the other part. Oh man, it is fun when you are literally the only tech guy, and this is one of the things that really, no, go away. Go away. I'm trying to turn that off. Okay, that's fine. We're not talking the housing market tonight. Ugh, frustrating, man. Let's go back. Go back to solo main. Let's see, and then let's come back to. See, I got to tweak some of this stuff. It's good. It's just not right where it needs to be, because I've done too much. Okay, we're back to there. Oh, okay, I need to turn that slideshow off. Okay, well, the browser can come back up. We'll turn that off. Why do I... Next slide. What slide are we showing? You're supposed to be showing me what slide I'm showing. Single family homes. Oh, so that's monthly stats. So I should just be able to turn that off and that should go away. The joys of a live broadcast. There we go. Okay, now back to browser. Hey, not doing too bad. Yeah, whatever. It's good enough. So, where was I on this? Before I got distracted, Makita, doing this thing. I had a question. Y'all can drop in the chat here and tell me what I was doing. I tell you, it's terrible. Got just bad brain, man. And it's not from too many drugs. So yeah, we were talking stats. We were talking. Oh yeah, so I was talking about streaming, and what's a good zone, what's a good time frame, that kind of thing. finally, like, I had a pretty interesting, harsh, kind of harsh. It was kind of harsh. Response set up that, this is literally what we're paying for. And then I was into brokers and that this is what I'm paying you for. And that, I had some complicated deals that this is what I'm paying you for. And you just left me hanging. So eventually I'd go find a different broker who was theoretically more willing to help me. And then I got over to FHR, Future Home Realty, and super helpful. Not that I need a ton of help, but God, when I need help, I need help. And nope, fantastic. So I am not leaving FHR. They're going to have to drag me out of there kicking and screaming. I absolutely love it, because even as good as you can be, there's times where you're going to go, oh man, what are you talking about? Like this guy, so I'm going to break down one of the deals that I had. And I'd contacted it for sale by owner. And at the time it was borderline, creeping up into that luxury property territory. It was definitely like luxury property neighborhood adjacent. Like it was right there. Had a great talk with the guy, loved his property. It was all good. And yeah, like I was set up to put it on the market, and he said, dude, I got like I'm looking to cash these things out. I'm like, sweet. I'm like, things? Yeah, I've got 15 of these. And you want to sell all of them? Yeah. Okay. So I went to my broker and I asked, this is before I was in FHR. I went to my broker and I asked, I'm like, okay, like, how do I do this? And he just told me, in the normal way, you'll figure it out. Dude, like, I'm going to use round numbers here. We're going to call them all 500,000. So 500,000 times 15, that's $7.5 million worth of property. And this guy's best answer was knowing what I know now, my response would be, okay, is he looking to offload them all at the same time as like a commercial package commercial package? So, he's going to sell all 15 to one potential investor type, or is this something where he wants to part them out? Like, that's the question, and that's the answer. And if he was willing to do it onesies and twosies to try and get the higher yield on it, fantastic, man. Cool. All right. Well, let's do an awesome job on number one, and you can work through the other 15 or 14 at that point. But no, just kind of left me out there. And let me tell you, I was ticked because that left a lot of money on the table, and I just walked away from it because it wasn't worth the headache. It wasn't worth being left out, to like left out in the cold. And if that was the biggest problem I had with that one, what was going to happen later on down the line with some of the others? I don't know. So anyhow, but yeah, I have the same problem with supposed experts. Like, even if I'm not paying you, or like, of course, this group, they've got a paid program, which is fine. Like, I'm not knocking that as a thing, but dude, like, I'm asking you an incredibly simple question that you should know your info on. Like, if I was running this and I had thousands of data points, I would be able to pinpoint to you, hey, these are probably your happy zones. You might want to try something else, but these are your happy zones. And no, just basically left me hanging. Look at your analytics. So yeah, I'm going to do a quick, what percentage of people watch YouTube on TV? Almost half of YouTube viewership happens on TV screens. Wow. And it's 10% of all TV viewing. So yeah, that's huge. Like, when you're looking at, this is a huge market. And, this is something that I bring up to other agents that, if you're not doing video, you're really missing out. I've seen people, and fortunately nobody that I've talked to, but I see a lot of chatter out there about, search engine optimization for your website. And, your webpage has to have, these keyword terms and this and that and the other. I'm like, it doesn't hurt. But me, as an individual at a brokerage, an individual agent who's trying to establish my presence, SEO is like, yeah, I can do that stuff on my website. I could spend tens of thousands of dollars and still not, like, I might get on page 2. You're talking about, like, I'm up against huge name companies with huge presences that are paying to play to be on that first page. I can't compete with that. But where I can compete is on YouTube, because it's the second largest search engine. Wow, man. So it's the second largest search engine. 10% of all TV viewing is coming off of YouTube, and almost half of YouTube viewership is on an actual television, not a mobile device. Dude, like, that's awesome. Like, this is this is super powerful, and YouTube is the second largest search engine. That's why I want to be out there, because the more content I get out there that says, that kid, realtor, Clearwater, let me talk to you about, neighborhoods like Dunedin, Palm Harbor. Went to an awesome open house in Palm Harbor. Went to another one on Clearwater Beach. More on that in here in just a minute. But these are keyword search terms. And if all I have to do, I know it's not necessarily a small thing to the average person, but really at the end of the day, I got cameras, I got a cell phone. I can go out and take video and talk about properties, and just on that alone, and I'm going to be very generous, and let's say there are 50 other agents out there that are trying to do this. Cool, I'm one of 50. That's not even a medium-sized brokerage that I'm competing with. I can do that. I can be interesting. I can have people who are like, dude, you're awesome. Or, hey, we're moving from Arizona and we want to use you because we saw you on YouTube. How the heck else are people going to find me than on YouTube or, Facebook or LinkedIn or even Rumble? I'm streaming on Rumble now. Unfortunately, one of the problems I'm running into, number one, is audio. Trying to bring on a guest, I've got to set up where I can hear my sound effects, or they can hear my sound effects, but I'm struggling to get us to both hear it. So it's something, but yeah, I'm going to do podcast episodes here just as soon as I can work through that technical hurdle. And I might just set it up so only they can hear it, because I know what my clips are. But yeah, like these are part of my personality. Like, I enjoy having fun. I enjoy throwing something up on the screen that people are going to laugh at, like, hey, what are you looking at? Like, the Jesus thing is funny. I want to do the Jesus thing because it's funny. And I want people to look at it and go, dude, that's awesome. I need more of that in my life. And these are spots where I can compete with that. The hard part is when. And if I can have a target day and time, cool. I've got a good idea when I need to put this on my calendar, what I need to prepare for, and what should theoretically yield some results. Maybe not. But these stats right here, which I obviously need to go in and retweak the screen a little bit. But I haven't been set up to do anything in a long time. But yeah, like, this is easy. And if I can put it on the schedule, I can make it repeatable. I can say every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Sorry, I was a little behind schedule tonight because I had to set everything back up. But if I can say every Thursday at 6 p.m., I'm going to do this, fantastic. And the reason I'm choosing to do this at 6 p.m. on a Thursday night is because I did not get any follow-up response, because I didn't post my reply. I'm, saying that this was a basically useless comment. It was just left, look at your analytics. Okay, well, how many of these do I have to do? I got 168 hours to pull from. I could play on 4 different roulette tables or roulette wheels and hit before I can figure out what day and time is right. But Google knows. So yeah, I did the thing. I went out and I Googled it. And this is pretty much what I came up with. Thursday night, 6 p.m. That's when you do a live stream. Sweet. All right, here I am. So I'm committing to doing this. Next week, I will have something to build towards with more actual information, because there's a lot that's been going on. And then I am committing to dropping my videos Friday at 3 p.m. because apparently that's the sweet spot. I don't know. That's what YouTube and Google and the rest of them are saying. Like all of the other data crunchers have looked at this and said those are the sweet spots. And I'm happy to have that info. I'm happy to operate on that. I'm really disappointed that this supposed subject matter expert basically left me hanging. And that was such a weak response, and it shouldn't have been. It should have been, look, here's your happy zones. Like people, depending on your market, depending on who you're dealing with, depending on who your target avatar, I'm not going to get crazy with that. But, if I'm talking to, say, retirees, hey, you know what? Maybe 10 a.m. on a Monday is perfect. If I'm talking to professionals, maybe they're not online at this point because, they're still trying to finish out their workday of 12 hours. Don't know. But at least, hey, for these general demographics and these target avatars, there's got to be some overlap. And if that's the case, where are the sweet spots? You know what? Google search says Thursday 6 p.m. for a live stream, especially on YouTube, and then Friday at 3 p.m. for publishing videos. Guess what I'm doing from here on out? My weeks are going to be structured around getting everything together for a Thursday afternoon live or Thursday evening live stream, and it's Friday afternoon publishing my video, which theoretically I want to have that done on Thursday and then just tell it to go live. Need that tea. So real quickly, let's talk tech, because I had a sad loss on my tech side this week. Give me a second. I'm going to pop up and go grab it. So yeah, little backstory. Went to this open house up in Palm Harbor this weekend, or a couple of days ago. Maybe it was yesterday. Can't remember. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, the days just kind of, because I'm not doing the Monday to Friday, so after a while they just kind of blend. Somebody will tell me, "Hey, it's Sunday. What are you doing that for?" Oh, I didn't know what today was Sunday. So yeah, this will help kind of keep me grounded on my week as well. But anyhow, so I went to this open house, and it was kind of a agent kind of meetup thing too, which was great. But met some awesome people, met some awesome people who I'm going to be doing more info for them. But they asked me, what do you do? I'm like, look, I'm the third most hated profession in the world. I'm a real estate agent, and a lot of them there were same thing. But I said, the thing that makes me different is obviously I do a lot of video, but I also do a lot of drone work, and throw that in on my video stuff. And if like I had another one out on Clearwater Beach where it was a penthouse, so it was 14th floor. I don't care who you are, you're not sticking your expensive camera over the edge of the 14th floor balcony, but the drone can do it no problem. So I love being able to do that. And I did not bring this drone out on the Clearwater Beach. I actually brought the Autel. Love the Autel. The video quality on the Autel is just jaw-dropping. I love the video that comes out of that. The problem is it's missing a couple of feature sets that DJI is much better about. The flip side is DJI's kind of restrictive on things like, hey, there might be an airport within 20 miles. How dare you even think about getting off the ground? Go home, hop on your computer, and beg us for permission. And I hate that. I hate that geofencing. So that's the other reason I went with the Autel, because, and yes, I have my license, our drone license. It's actually a Part 107 certificate holder. So, but yeah, I've got that. I did the thing. So I'm completely legal. I could, well, with a few extra steps, but I could legally fly down the runway at Tampa International Airport. And the Autel was like, cool, man, you do you. And the DJI is like, no, you're never getting off the ground. Theoretically, I might be able to get it to unlock, but it's just such a pain in the ass. It's like, if you had a Tesla and you started getting close to the interstate and the car just shut down and ran you off the road and said, nope, you can't do that. Why not? I don't know. It's just, it's aggravating. Anyhow. So, but the DJI does have a few feature sets that I love. And the Autel kind of struggles with a lot of this. It's not real, like, you have to be extremely close to a person for the Autel to go, hey, look, it's a person. And, you know, yeah, we can track that person. But once you get past, like not even a stone's throw, it's not going to track you. And that's kind of a pain, because sometimes you want that deeper cinematic shot, and it's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, oh. So it's missing those tracking features. The DJI would allow me to draw a box around something and say, hey, track the microphone, not me. And, you know, do an orbit. And it'd go, cool, I know where the microphone is, and just do its happy little orbit, and it'd be fine. The Autel does not do that. And for the things that it does with the automated flight modes, it doesn't do them great. So yeah, I've had the DJI Mavic Air 2 for a couple, 3 years now, something like that. And I've loved it for what it has been. There's been better ones out there. There's obviously been a bunch of upgrades, but you know, you love the one you're with. I've got this, I got the extra batteries, you know, I got the fast charger. I'm like, all right, I'm good. And then I went to take her out of the bag yesterday, and you know, let me fold that back up and fold this out and then fold that back out. I took her out of the bag yesterday, and she broke her little wing. I don't know what happened. Yeah, get off my face. There you go. So her little architecture on the wing here, it's floppy. It doesn't clicky anymore. The poor drone. It's dead, Jim. I don't know how that happened. I don't know why that happened. I am severely disappointed, but I'm pretty sure that's not recoverable. And I haven't flown her in months. So, because, you know, Autel, superior video quality. But yeah, poor little Mavic Air 2 is now officially retired. And for those of you who are saying, yes, I could get it. Well, nobody's actually saying that, but you know, theoretically I could send it in for repair, but the repair bill would be more than it would be to replace it with something that is smaller, that has a better camera, that's still DJI. So yeah, she's getting mothballed. She can sit up on my shelf, and I'll get myself whatever the latest mini is, and then probably a bigger one after that. Look, it's a problem for me. I love my drones. I love my cameras. I've got some camera upgrades I'm working on this year too. Just because the ability to go out, film something awesome, tell a compelling story while you do it, and then broadcast it, it's incredible. And you know, I know my whole thing looks super fancy over here. It kind of is. There's a lot of back end work to get it here, but it's kind of cool. And what you're seeing, aside from the ability to stream to a whole bunch of platforms, even that I have the capability of doing it on a free version, but everything you're seeing is free. I mean, yeah, I paid for the microphone because I wanted better audio, and I've got my normal running camera, which I don't even think I own a webcam otherwise, but you know, so I paid a couple of bucks for hardware, which, you know, I recommend anyway. You know, even if you don't want to go to this crazy level, like, get yourself like, pay more than 20 bucks for a webcam and pay more than 20 bucks for a microphone, and you're good. Everything else that I've got here, free. You know, or at least there's close to a free version on pretty much all of this. So I think that's pretty powerful, and I don't think anybody's taking it. I don't think there's nearly enough people taking advantage of it, which for me is awesome because it's an unfair advantage. So as soon as I can, I'll get this audio squared away. Yeah, let's. Can I do that there? No. There we go. Turn the. Okay, well, yeah. Hey, that worked. I love this. Just so y'all know, questions, comments. Chat is still open. But yeah. Coffee. It's not coffee, it's tea. But it's still warm. Coffee's a hug in a mug. Tea is more of like an impersonal handshake. It's very, very British. But it's still kind of warming. Anyhow. Yeah. I got so much good stuff here. But yeah, the you know, the whole concept of, you know, sending out flyers. Look, it's not a terrible thing to send out flyers for homes, but you have to understand what you're doing there. That's an entirely different targeted market than, like I don't care like how crazy you make your postcard. My mailbox sits quite literally right next to my trash can. If I don't see immediate compelling value, I am not reading it any deeper. Just tossing it in the bin. And I think that's true of most people. And, if you're sending out 5,000 postcard mailers and you're doing it once or twice a week for months on end, of course you're going to see an ROI on that. I think your return on ad spend isn't going to be as good because there's a lot of production, there's a lot of mailing costs, there's a lot of stuff you have to do. And yes, it gets you multiple touch points. But if I say something really cool here, like your return on ad spend is going to suck, and you go, dude, that was really awesome. What did he just say? You can rewind. You can go back and watch this again. Or you can go, I love how this dude presents stuff. Or you can go, this guy really sucks. I never want to hire him. I don't care. Maybe you're not a good fit for me. It's a good possibility. But at least you have an opportunity to see me. You're hearing from me right now and looking at what I've got. And this is just tip of the iceberg on what I can do. So, these are things that I don't think people really consider that much. I still think there is a good market for mailers, but I don't see it as being the only market. Same thing with billboards, like they make sense, kind of. Bus stop ads, kind of. I will say I do have one bus stop seat bench ad in my neighborhood, and I got to give credit to that agent because hers is specifically naming the neighborhood that it is in by the neighborhood's name. And that's smart. That's targeted. You got to drive by it. It's, she's saying the name of where you're driving through, and there's no question. If you live here, you know what that is. So good on her. Because, there's a good, to me, that's a good return. I don't know how many clients she's getting off of it, but at least it's a good method of advertising. It's targeted, it's specific, it's recognizable if you're coming through the neighborhood. After a while, it does become background noise unless you're a marketing geek like me. But I still think it's, it's good. I would do that over postcards any day of the week. But yeah, my wife and I typically haven't been able to do it for a few weeks. But we pick one day a week because we can kind of float our schedules a little bit from time to time. We love going to the beach. So when going out to Clearwater Beach, we see the Jolly Trolley and there's an agent advertising on the back of the Jolly Trolley. And I'm like, that's not bad. You got a captive audience in traffic who's stuck behind a bus. So they kind of got to read your ad. But I don't really like that as much. You're spending money and you're getting a lot of eyeballs on it. But what about what eyeballs are you getting on it? And that's a question I always love to dig into. The marketing brain in me says, who's looking at this? And the answer in that case is, well, you might get somebody on the sidewalk, maybe, when the bus is stopped. And I'm sure there's probably ads inside the bus. Again, these aren't terrible markets, but when I think about, okay, you're in traffic, you're behind the bus. Number one, if it's me, who likes to drive fast, I'm going to be mad I'm stuck behind the bus. But number two, if I'm driving solo, which most people do, I'm going to save your information. Even on the dash cam, I'm not rolling back to look at it unless you do something incredible. I don't really care that much. I'll try and look you up, and by the time I bother to think to look you up, thought's gone. So these are considerations, and people don't understand that. Yes, that other old school agents, the ones who still advertise in the yellow pages. I know what I got the yellow pages over here just for example. But the yellow pages still work. They don't work really well, but they still work. So I don't know. It's frustrating. And it's frustrating to know that there's better content, better information, better strategies out there, and the vast majority of people sleep on that. and the vast majority of the platforms, they are there to help you get more eyeballs on your stuff. That's not to say that all of them are that good at it. Like I've got a Facebook creator account that I am working on trying to get to be better, and I worked on that a couple of weeks, and they're like, hey, do these extra couple of steps and you could qualify for monetization. Go in and check your account for the monetization. I got in there, I'm like, well, this is a little goofy and broken for these reasons. Facebook helped me out, and they're like, well, did you click this button? Yes, that's how I got there. That's why I sent you the screenshot. Okay, then click this button. That's how I got to this page. Like I told you, I'm running a loop here. And it was like AI hell. Like, when you call the bank and you get automated voicemail hell, or God forbid you call the VA and it's automated voicemail hell. It was the same kind of thing, only with Facebook. And I'm like, oh, so you're not going to help me resolve my issue, but you're still going to keep me to, try and do this program. Like, so I know I need to go back in and see what I can do, but it was frustrating because there was already an existing account associated with this thing, and I was like, that was fine, that was put in there for a reason, but that is no longer a valid reason. It needs to go bye-bye, and I need to add a new one. And Facebook's like, no, just go into there. And I'm like, that does not exist. So it's just a pain. But in theory, you've got all these platforms. Big news this week, Instagram released the ability to put music on your profile page. It's kind of a throwback to MySpace. I did it. Of course, it had to be Wham. But, it's like they're putting things out there to make things fun and to get people to engage with you. Then take advantage of that. Like, so many people are like, look, I'm posting up homes. Okay, that's great. You're selling homes. That's wonderful. And some homes are like, yes, you should be doing happy clients. You should be, hey, I got this listing this week. Those totally cool posts. How is that any different than what somebody else is doing? Because all the agents are out there posting, I sold homes. Hey, look, happy people holding the key at their closing. Sweet, man. How does somebody know if they want to hire you? Why should they hire you? Oh, because you got, five people this year holding up the key. Whoopie-doo. It's not, I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying, how do people connect with you? At what point do they look at your content and go, I don't know if I like this person? Or, hey, this is totally the person we want to work with. Does your content bring that? Same thing with flyers. Do your flyers bring that? Probably not. So, let's see. Yep, nope, nobody chatting. And I've been on here for 39 minutes, coming up on 7. I started a little bit late. So, yeah, I'm going to cut it off there. And I'm going to go have probably dinner, hang out with the wife and the dog. Anyhow, thank you all if you bothered to click on this video, and I'd be shocked if you watched 40 minutes of it. But thanks for checking it out. Again, Thursdays at 6 p.m. I will be live streaming. Made that commitment. Fridays at 3 p.m. Not tomorrow, but Fridays at 3 p.m. I'll be pushing out my latest videos. Thanks for joining me. Y'all have a good weekend if I don't talk to you before then. And yeah, catch you a week from now.